On today's video, I am going to be showing you all how to use basic JQL on Jira. And I know in our previous video, I showed you all how to create a project, how to basically do all the basic stuff on Jira. And now we are at the point where we have to learn how can we find things on Jira? How can we search things on Jira? And for JQL, for people that don't know what JQL is the Jira Query Language. Basically, it's the Jira own way of looking for things. So I know sometimes people like, oh, this is so difficult. It's so difficult to find things on Jira, and people think it's that difficult. But my goal today is to show you all simple ways how you can use basic JQL for you to find common things that you want to know as a Scrum Master. Welcome back to Aisha Scrum platform. I'm glad to have you all. And for all my subscribers, my current subscribers, my previous subscribers, I welcome you all. And please, if you've been finding my content valuable, subscribe to my channel. I truly appreciate it. And you should have your notification bell on so you can get an alert for every new video that I've dropped. All right, so now let's get into it. So right now I'm in my backlog view on my Jira homepage, and I'm sure you all have seen this backlog from our previous videos. And in order for me to go to the search for me to be able to see the basic JQL thing, it's gonna be company specific. I know for mine on my own personal Jira, I have this at the top. If you see you have this your work, project, dashboard, and all of that. I have filters, and under filters, which is where I'm going to go to see all the issues I have on my Aisha Scrum project. I know sometimes at work, this may be issue for some of you. So in case you want to follow along and do some of this, I know this is something that will be very beneficial for you as Scrum Masters, So for me to get my whole list of items I have in this current project, in this case of this being Aisha Scrum project, I'll go to the filters, meaning when I do come to the filters, I have other filters I've created in the past. It's going to show up. And for some people, it's going to say issue, but I'm going to go under my Aisha Scrum project. Let it load up. All right, so now Jira brought me to this page. And in this page, I have all the issues I have in my current project of Aisha Scrum. And how did I know that? Okay, because sometimes when you do have this view at work, you'll see bunch of list of issues and from all over. But based on here, on this filter here, it shows that Aisha Scrum, and I already saved this in the past as Aisha Scrum Tech. So this is now I'm able to see all of my issues on regardless of what type of the issue on. This is the list of all of them that I've been creating since in the past. And if you look at these types, all right now it's saying that this is all issues, all status, all assignee, regardless, and more. And this view here that you have all this drop down arrow for each, that's the basic JQL function. And of course, so if you want to switch to the queries, the JQL advanced, because I know that's how sometimes you see this at work as advanced JQL. And when you see as advanced JQL, you can also, when you click on it, you'll see what more you can do. But my goal is just to make this as simple as possible and to make it as basic so it can help people that are beginners to know how they can figure out and search for things on Jira. So now let's say we're looking at all of these arrows, right? This is basically projects. Right now I highlighted Aisha Scrum, but if I do click down on this arrow, I have my other projects that I have on this my Jira platform. And it's very important for you to know that at your work also, if you have it all on here, it's going to basically show the whole project at work. But you always just, if you want to use the basic, because these types that we are going to be configuring today is going to be the basic JQL. So you can just click the drop down arrow and choose your own team's project. You can choose your team project, and of course it's going to give you this view and show you all the list of stories you have on your team's projects, regardless of the time, regardless of the date, as long if the type says all and the status says all and the assignee says all. If all of that is saying all, that means it's saying we want everything in this project, all of it, it's showing in Aisha Scrum's project. And you can do the same thing if you have like two teams. You can see, you can switch around here in the project. But as of right now, I'm going to stick with just this Aisha Scrum project, and currently I have all of my items. So now let's to see what other options we have, other types, what other thing we have on the status, what other options we have on the assignee, and more. So now let me click the drop down arrow on that type. So when I click on down, so then it shows me like the standard issue type. If you all recall, when we created the project from scratch, under the Scrum template, it showed us the issue type, and free and tax was the basic issue type we had in the template when we created the project at first. So then it's showing us the same thing. So these are the options we have on that type, meaning the type of issue. If we want to configure this later, we're going to come back to that. Like if we want to just look at a certain type of issue, so it can show us that. So that's for all. So the next thing we can go is under status. And if you go under status, if you also recall on that same template, it showed us on the side that we either going to have issues under to do, in progress, and done. On this status in testing, that's something I created, and that's another high-level Jira thing that I plan later on to show you all how to add more status, and if given the privilege as a Jira administrator, to have it under your team in case you want to add more column, because you always have to have a status before you can add the column. So these are the different status of basically the status of the tickets the teams are working on, or any issues that they are working on. So these are the options we have under that. And if I go under assignee, I have assignee of whoever. Basically, if you have all, that means all the people that are assigned in this project, all their name going to show up. And basically, when I click on this, so basically all the people assignee name you have in the project is going to show up, and we can configure that as we see fit. And if you click under more, that's when we have like some kind of criteria. And these are all Jira language because it is so specific, and you must basically choose this and follow these steps for you to get what you are looking for, right? In the basic search. And of course, in the advanced, you can play around even more. And let's say if I just want epic or just priority or just sprints or labels, all of that are going to show up. And as you continue to scroll down, you will see a lot more options on that criteria, because sometimes you have all of this here filled out, and then you now choose kind of criteria you want, and which I plan to show you all later on how to do all of those things. So now let's now say we want to show all the tickets in our backlog, and all the stuff in our backlog right now, we have it as my project, right? So let's say we just want to show only bug tickets that we have in our backlog. And right now, like maybe we've been having too much bug as a team, or we have defects coming in and out, and we want to see like, okay, what have been the bug coming into our board? In that case, we'll go on that type, right? Because remember, that's the type of issue. And you click on the drop-down arrow, and you just click on bug. As soon as you click on bug, then automatically it shows up. It shows you all the bug tickets you have in this project, regardless of the dates, regardless of priority, regardless of time, and all of that. But if let's say we want to now do look for bugs that are the most priority in the project currently, like prioritized bug, maybe like the QA wrote bugs, and there's a high priority, and we just want to have a quick glance at all of it at once. And that's where we go under more, right, for the basic search. And I go under more, and when I go under more, they have different criteria, because I've used this in the past, so that's already showing under recent criteria. But in case you're not seeing this recent criteria in your own board, you can go all the way down to all criteria and scroll. It's going to show up somewhere. You see right here, that's priority and ranking, sprints. They have a lot of other stuff down here you can use. And in that case, or you can just search for it. If there's something of the criteria you are interested in, can just search for that criteria. And in this case, let's say I just want the bugs that are the highest priority that we are so concerned about fixing, right? So then I hit priority. And as soon as I hit priority, then it showed up still as all, right? And currently it's highlighted as all, but for me to now make it even more specific, I have to now choose the type of priority. And in this case, I'm going to choose highest because that's what we said from day one we wanted to look at, right? And voila. So as soon as we choose the highest priority, if you notice our list shrink to like now 3 issues, right? So now in our current project, in Aisha Scrum project, all of these 3 issues are the highest priority bugs that we want to fix. And let's say this is something that's very important. You don't want to lose it and you don't want to come back to basic search and start doing this one by one. Or it's something that you're trying to save and you want to like show it to your team on the following daily Scrum, or it's something that maybe you want to address, or maybe leadership is asking you, okay, we've been having bugs. What are the priority bugs in your board? What are the priority bugs in your board? And this is where it's something now you can do is to save these queries. To save it, you just come up to, I like to use the save as for me, because then I can have the privilege to name it how I want it. And I just come to the drop down arrow. Maybe in your case too at work, I know it shows you save as. You just click the save as button, right? And you hit save as. And when you click save as, then you now look for a filter name for this. And I'm going to call this priority bug. High priority, right? We should call it high priority or highest, however you want to call it. And you can also include your team name if that's something that you want to do. And I hit submit. And it saves it for you. So you don't have to come back and do all these queries on one-to-one. And you see right here, it automatically saves it for you. And if you want to use it too, to add it to your dashboard, so you can show like in some kind of graph, like so either any kind of like a filter result graph or any kind of graph or any kind of data you're trying to get with them, you can also further do that by adding it to the dashboard and stuff. And if you all want me to show you how to do all of that too, don't hesitate to comment down below, and I can definitely show you guys. And please, if you've been finding my content valuable, please like and subscribe to my channel. I would truly appreciate it. And thank you all for subscribing, and thank you for continue watching and sharing the videos. And if you are interested in mentorship, do not hesitate to email me at admin@aishascrumtech.com, and also you can call me at 484-767-1979. All right, so now let's say now we're done with this bug issue, and now we're going to look at different things, right? So to do that, you just X out of that, and you see right now it's still saying bug, right? Because right now we're still seeing only we're still seeing just bug tickets. So for me to go back to all of the list I have in my project, I have to just go under that drop down arrow and basically uncheck debug and click out. So as soon as I uncheck debug, everything comes back to where it was before. So now I have everything back on here. So now let's say we are interested in looking at our sprints, right? And we want like a whole list view. I know sometimes so we can see that in front of the backlog, or we can see that thing, we can see in front of the active sprint in the Scrum board itself. But let's say we want to see like the current sprints that we have in our board in this list view. And for us to do that, we will definitely have the Aisha Scrum in here. And we're going to leave the types. We want all type of issue in that sprint regardless, right? And we want all status. I'm not trying to change any status. It doesn't matter if it's in to do, in progress, or done. And assignee, I want the task that's assigned to everyone in the team, not specific to one person. And then for me to have it to be just the sprints, our current sprints, that's where I have to add the criteria. And for me to add the criteria, I now come to more, click on more. And then it's because I've used this in the past, so it's showing here at the top as sprint, but at the bottom too, if you don't have it at the top of your own list of criteria, you can also scroll all the way down and search. It's going to show you there to a sprint, or you can also search right here. And now I'm going to choose sprint as one of the criteria. And as soon as I choose the sprint, it's already, it showed me all other sprints I've had in the past, and it's asking me, which of the sprints do I truly want to see? Let me see, I want my current active sprints. And I know I have other sprints here. So, oh, how do you know which one to choose? I go by the project key. I know this is my project key, the Aisha Scrum. This is the project key. So then I click on that one and voila. So it shows me my current sprints, what are the list of all the issues that the team are working on. And it's the same thing in your case too, if you want to see the list of everything that's currently active in one slide, maybe like you're asked about sending a report on what the team is working on, what's the status or updates. You can also do this, and you can always export this to Excel, Microsoft Excel. And when you do export it to Excel, it's going to show like in that and send it that way. I know some people too, sometimes they screenshot this and add it to their discussion or reports if needed. So now this is what I'm currently working on in my current active sprint. And these are all the tasks. But let's say now we are doing release and we are in a position whereby we want to see the list of view of sprints that have been closed in the past. I know sometimes people be like, oh, we have release, we have to leave the sprint open. I know I've seen that in the past because I'm telling you guys this from experience, but I've seen some anti-patterns out there. And they'll basically leave the sprint open and say, because if we do close the sprint, we basically can't track our tasks. We can't track the ticket itself. And that's not true, right? Because we all know we can use fixed version. And that's something I plan to teach you all later about release and how to track release on Jira. But as of right now, let's just focus on this basic JQL on searching things basic, right? So this can help everyone. And it's not something that's difficult, right? If you notice, you basically have all of this thing right up here. You can just make changes, go up and down on this. Based on what you are looking for, you can able to find it. So now let's say I'm curious about sprint 1, and now I'm ready to do release. I want to see what's going on and what other things that's there or what other things I want to see, right? So in that case, since remember, I still am on the Aisha Scrum project, right? I still want to see everything in that previous sprint, regardless of the type of the issue. I also want to see all the status. Hopefully everything will say done, right? And assignee, like regardless of who worked on it. And then I'm going to come for that sprint now. I'm just going to come down to that drop down arrow and choose AIS sprint 1. It's even telling me that it's closed, right? So now it gave me the report of my previous sprint that I just closed. And unfortunately, in that sprint, we only completed 3 tasks, right? So that's why I chose all status, regardless of if it's closed or not, right? But unfortunately, we did not close all of the tasks in this sprint. So it showed me everything I had in the previous sprint, and we have done, to do, in progress. Stuff was not completed. So it has everything in here. And let's even go further and personalize this and see how you can also further narrow your search, right? Based on always what you're looking for. So let's say in this time around, I just want to see issues that was done in the previous sprint. And then you go under status and you click on done. And when as soon as you click on done, then it now shows you the 3 tasks that we're able to complete it. And sometimes this can be important if you work in a company that they require for you to give reports in every end of a sprint, in case you don't have a sprint report. I know I've seen one time Jira that do not have a sprint report, but we all know that's the best place to go for your reports, right? The Jira will automatically create a sprint report at the end of each sprint. And this is now the done. So let's say now we are worried about tasks that was not completed, and to ensure that this current sprint, we do not want the same thing to happen. And we want to keep track about what was spilled over and what's now is being worked on in this sprint. In this case, I'm just going to go to in progress, in testing, and to do, like basically all what was still not, that did not hit the done, right? And when I do that, it shows me all the list of spillover from previous sprints. And now I have the list of spillover from the previous sprints. These are all the issues that was not completed in the last sprint. So that's what this is showing currently. And if this is something that they're asking you, or maybe you have an RTE that want to know, okay, what's going on with your team? What's that thing? Of course, you can also use this and be transparent, right? Because we always want to be transparent with how our team is working and all of that. Basically to take it off too, after you're done with that. So now, let's say I'm going to take out this print, take out all of this and X out. So as soon as I X out, I go on. So now these are all the list of items, issues, regardless of what the type, I have in my current project, Aisha Scrum. So now let's say that I now want to basically bring status of issues that's assigned to a person, right? That's assigned to one particular team member. Maybe you're looking for issue about a team member, what they've been working on, or you're doing like a little search to see like what someone is working and you want to quickly do that in queries, you can also do that. And in this case too, I still want it under Aisha Scrum, and I want to see all the type of issues this particular team member have been working on or they've worked on in the past, because this will show you everything, right? If we have it as all. And the status, we can choose this as done, in progress or not. But right now I want it at all. And then you go to Assignee. And when I go to Assignee, and now click down the R, which is me. And when I do that, it shows me all the tickets this developer is working on. So regardless of the age, year, and all of that. And sometimes people, to see some of this JQL, if you want to keep this down, but I don't see the reason why, if you can basically use the basic, right? You just switch to the advanced, which is the JQL. It shows you your project, right? The equal sign and the project key and the assignee. And this is the tag, the code it has for this person that's using this assignee, which is me, right? So it's telling me now to switch to basic, which I plan to do. That's the purpose of this video, right? We plan to show everything how to use in basic. So that's how you can see what the team member is working on. It's going to bring me back to all of the basically tags that they've been working on. And if you click on this drop arrow, you want to see just Epic that's been in this project since maybe it's been created. So another thing that sometimes that's important. Sometimes they want to see the futures or Epic in the whole project, or maybe you can further refine it, right? You can further add more criteria to make it even more narrower. So let's just say I want to see the whole Epic in the project. So I'll just click that. It shows me all the Epic in this project. And we can further add more criteria, right? Regardless of the status of the Epic and all assignee, we can sometimes want to see Epic that are in progress. And in that case, I can just go to in progress, and it's going to automatically show me okay, currently we have 5 Epic, but we only have 1 of them in progress. You can also use this and show that also. And then I will unclick for it to give me back the list of all of the other epics that we have in this project. And so that's how you will use the epic. So now let's say I want to look at tickets that was created for the past 1 month or 2 using the basic JQL. So add the criteria, right? So now I'm going to put more. And when I click the more, then I'm going to go to created dates. So the time this tickets that was created, and then I'm gonna come between. I can even put it right here in time, in range. 3 weeks, 4 days. I can put maybe let's put it so -4 weeks to 4 weeks and such. Oh, I didn't have any issue created in 4 weeks, but I can do maybe 8 weeks. So now that I did the tickets that was created between 2 months ago to now, it shows me all of the tickets that were created between November, right, to January. So basically it shows me 2 months worth of tickets that have been created and that's unresolved. The resolution is showing me that it's unresolved. And the ones that were resolved, it's telling you that it's done. And this status is telling me everything that have been created from November to January. And all of these tasks currently are currently still not being completed yet, right? But it definitely showed me the ticket that was created around this date in 8 weeks. So that's that to even personalize it and more. But just to know that if you want to add any more criteria, you want to search for anything more, just go under the more, and we can also look for labels, right? I think I showed you all label in my previous video, and I can choose maybe if you have label identified by PI or label identified by dependency. All those issues gonna come, like if you have those, because this is what we used in the past, right? And that's where I saved that label and I showed you all how to do all of those things. But I can unclick. Just to go back to your full view, you have to unclick, right? And if you want to see also tickets that have been completed for a long time, you can also like do that. Like if they have been updated. And remember, it's saying excluding 31 hidden. So it means that there's a lot of criteria, you know, depending on what you're looking for. You can always search and Jira will definitely have it for you. And let's say I also want to see like tickets that was resolved in the past like 2 months or so. There's another way too we can do that by coming to the JQL, right? And if I switch to JQL view, it basically will now show me where we can basically manually type what we want to do. All what I will be showing you all is how to search things just by clicking those arrows, the way how you continue to change it based on your need, right? Maybe in my next video, I'm going to show you all how to do like more in-depth search based on what you're looking for, and also how to do a smart search. If you're using Jira Cloud, that's something that for sure you can easily do and you can show up on a lot of things. But I still think it's going to be nice if I can show you all how to show tickets that have been completed for the past 2 months, right? So in that case, if you're doing that, you type in this project, that's it's telling me my current project, and it highlighted my project key, which is AIS. That's my project key. And how did I know that's my project key? Even by looking at the bottom here, it tells you. And that's the key I created, if you all recall, during the early stages when we created this project. And this key is in all of your issue, regardless of the type. You have all the keys in there. And now I want to show tickets that have been resolved, that have been completed for the last 2 months. Don't just say we want to see it for our bookkeeping and tracking purposes. And then I'm going to hit the space bar. And when I hit the space bar, and that's something about Jira, it's so good that sometimes as soon as you do one thing, it thinks that you know what you want to do. And in this case, I'm going to put end, right? And as soon as I hit end, it literally shows me a lot more options too I can use, right? But in this case, I know like I want to show like the tickets that have been resolved for the past 2 months. I'm going to hit R, resolved. And right away, it shows me at the bottom, resolved. I'll click on resolved. And then I hit the space. And now it's showing me this sign, right? We have the greater than equals, the less than equals, and it is not, it depending on what you are looking for, that will determine what you're going to choose. In this case, since I'm looking for tickets that have been completed in the past 2 months, I'm going to choose greater than equal, that one. And then I hit my space, and it's now showing me these other options again. Isn't that so cool about Jira? Then I'm going to put start of the month, right? And if I start of the month, or I can put start of the week, start of the year, start of the day, you can even go back and look at tickets coming from previous year. So then I'm going to hit start of the year. When I click start of the year, no, I don't want year. I don't think I have that much long enough of a data. I think I have to do months because this Jira have not been that long. We all created this like 2 months ago, right? So I'm going to put start of the month. When I hit start of the month, and inside this parentheses, right? And I can now add -2 because I'm looking backwards. I'm looking backwards, so I'm going to put -2. because I'm looking at resolved tickets from 2 months back. If you want to do 3 months, 6 months, depending on how long you've been having your project, you can look back up to a year. You can just use the 1 year, 1 year one. And when I do that, and I know that this queries is working because my check mark, my green check is a green check mark. It's a green check mark. That means, okay, you did it right. It's actually working. And if it's red, if you hit search, it won't show up. So it's just important for you to know that it's very important to ensure that you have the green before you even search. If not, don't even bother because it won't show. Then I hit search. Voila. So now it showed me tickets that were completed between the past 2 months, right? So it showed me from November to December, October, within that 2 months, all those tickets that was completed, it showed me right here, October through all the way to November, the 22, I see the last one. So you can do these queries for a lot of things. Right now I'm in the advanced queries. The reason I'm searching because one time someone asked me for this question. So that's why I was okay, let me just add it to this, even though I know I was showing just basic. And this is the advanced one where you can search and add more things as you see fit. And all this option you have under the basic queries, we can always switch. And my projects are key because I know it's going to take me back to the page we had before. So I'm going to put switch to basic queries. So I'll just search it basically. And when I search, it's going to give me back to that initial view we had from beginning, right? Where we have all the list of the items we have in our current project. And now I'm going to switch to basic queries. And when I switch to basic query, it brings us back to this page of when I've been showing you all how to do basic things, just by you wanting to search anything. And this more criteria is going to be the key to help you make it more specific based on what you're looking for. Let's say this one more time, you're looking for the status that's currently in progress, right? Regardless of the type, we're looking at all status that's in progress, bug, story, tags. Let's say we're looking for all of that. And the status, I'm going to put in progress or in testing. I'm looking for all of these status that are in progress in testing, and also on the assignee or regardless who is working on it, and I come to more. And when I come to more, and I now come to priority, because sometimes I know we look at priority, right? So when I come to priority, it's not going to show me back again, or one of the ones that are highest priority in our current project. And it's basically showing me just the epic, that this epic is what's in my queue right now. That's the highest priority that I need to work on. But you can, and if I want to see the JQL for all what I've just done, you just switch to JQL. And when you switch to JQL, you see all the codes and the queries that Jira did to get you to see this page. And this was the page I was searching all of those things, So now, since it's Jira that got this code, the queries for me, I'm going to switch it back to basic. This is going to take me back. And for me to go back to my all list view, I just have to X out of this and basically click here and uncheck on it. Things that you don't want, just uncheck on it. It gives you back. That's how you come back to the page. You uncheck on those things. And you can continue to search as many things as you want. If you just click on this criteria, you can search as anything. My goal was to keep this basic, and I hope this has been very basic for you all. And if you find my content valuable, please like and subscribe to my channel and look at all my Jira training videos that I've had in the past. I have a whole playlist on it, and hope to see you all in my next video when I'm going to show you all how to do a quick search on Jira. It's actually very simple and easy than you think. Thank you everyone for watching. I truly appreciate you all, and I hope to see you all again in my next video.